every reason to believe that Mikey could come in with something spectacular again today.
Let's hope. I'm a little worried because, I mean, if he sees the whole Exort thing, like, he's probably going to be playing around Sunstrikes with the clockwork, with the cogs and stuff like that. But if he's not able to get the ball rolling, I'm actually a little worried. I actually think Pango is incredibly good versus Exort Invoker in the middle of the game. Like, in these, like, 8 to 20 minutes or something like that, when you have this Midas, you're trying to be greedy on the Invoker. He can punish, he can gank these side lanes, and that means he's not going to have Vessel. We saw how good Mikey was yesterday when he did get Vessel versus the healing and stuff like that. There's an IO, there's a Lash, there's a DK. Vessel has its merits, so let's see if Mikey's going to be able to impress as this Exort Invoker. I got to be real, I really thought he was going to go Quaswex this game, but let's see what he can do.
He's already got the full build queued up indeed. As you'd expect with the Exort, the Midas into the bots, going full greed. At least that seems to be the game plan so far from Mikey.
It's very greedy, though, if you do this. You have an SF who, it's greedy but not greedy because he's set up with a clockwork. It's just like the BKB timing and stuff like that. If you do get overrun, if you get the gap closed constantly from like some early blink DK and Pango getting on you, can be a little concerning if you do have a Midas on a Doom, a Midas on an Invoker, an SF who doesn't go early BKB. So could definitely be moments if, you know, if Liquid identifies that to pressure it and to take advantage of it.
And overall from Liquid's side, what do you sort of make of the decision then to end up with the cores the way that they were? Because there's definitely some flexibility, but as it ends up, they take Zai to the bottom lane on his DK, and of course they put Mikke on the safe lane Lash.
I guess they just were worried if they put Zai off lane that he could just chain feed. You know, if he get caught inside of a battery assault and cogs, like stuff like that, they won't be able to actually save him versus this high damage SF. They probably just feel that the DK has a way to prevent it. He just clicks the stun and walks away from the clockwork if he does get gone on, so. Can definitely understand why they went down this route. And honestly, it's pretty annoying for an SF to lane versus this, unless you get early kills. You just get hit.
I mean, yeah, you just sort of see an example of that there from Arteez. You know, he wants to step up to kind of get in range to set up the chain combo of the raises. But one stun and pretty much loses 75% of his HP there to Zai and Boxy just right-clicking him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to look to see how much. Like, I'm really gonna be watching a lot for Mikey this game, to be honest with you, because I think they could really punish this greed. Because it is very, very greedy if you're going double Midas versus a super pressuring draft. I know they made it work yesterday, but it was because he also went Vessel into Midas.
Sure.
So he scaled after being
yeah.
able to do that early pressure to react to the movement. So,
I mean, what do you think it is about the game that Shopify Rebellion have seen and said, you know what, we're going to get away with this greed? Is there some sort of weakness to Liquid's lineup in a sense that even if they do get this early lead, that Shopify Rebellion, they feel that they've got the tools to sort of hold back the pushes?
Maybe because it's not a traditional carry, but Lesh we've seen played as a carry from different positions anyway, so not sure. Like I said, I'm a little worried that they are going such a greedy route.
On top lane, first blood will occur here as Mikke is able to take down Fly. He'll tick down pretty low, but he's back under the tower. In fact, he's got a stun at the ready to turn over towards table line. They might be able to get the two of them here.
He's got Wand.
See if they can chase him out of the lane.
Another bite.
They do. The setups there from Insania. Double kill for Mikke, and one of those being the first, but that's a lot of money to the safe lane Lash.
It sure is. It's a very strong lane up here coming out from the CM and the Leshrac, just pumping in the mana, of course, with his ally soon. Doesn't have the Arcane Aura yet, but once he does, it's very effective.
And imagine what we're going to sort of see, that top lane, Liquid having a pretty good potential of continuing to get kills, whereas on the other side of the map, very difficult for Shopify Rebellion to do so themselves, as we're seeing, you know, Zai and Boxy feeling pretty safe down here.
I think Liquid is. I'm worried, Owen. Like, I know it's super early tails. Just, Mikey's gonna have to do some super impressive stuff to be able to salvage his lanes, and you know, we'll see how he does adapt. Because right now I'm seeing him. He's already taking an early point in Wex. So maybe he is going to do some type of adaptation build. Maybe he just wanted a few points in Exort just for the start, but he's still like, it's not going to be that Vessel, that early rotation you can make as a full Quas Wex to match the extreme pressure that Liquid is going to be looking to set.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
Just super greedy.
Absolutely, eyes on Mikey to see what he does. I mean, maybe sort of with the build and, you know, queuing up the Midas and such, maybe it's like a silent indicator that Mikey's like, he's looking at his team, he's looking at the pigs like, guys, this is a tough game.
Yeah.
And in his head, he's like, I got to carry this one. I'm going to take this on my shoulders. I'm going to do it. So we'll see if Mikey can.
Let's see if he can.
It's a fast lane.
Right now, he's holding his own beautifully in the mid lane. Doom, it's going to be a bit of a troubled start for him. I actually think CM Lesh is pretty underrated. I think CM overall is a hero if you have someone that is utilizing that bonus magic mana regen that you get, since it's, you know, if someone who's next to you in the lane gets that big bonus from it. Some heroes just
I mean, they can go on this.
Yeah.
See if it's enough damage. Sableye's got the scorch cover.
Mikke is dead.
He went on that. He was super low, actually, when he started to follow
I think he
up
wanted
Instania,
to
so
get
he
out
just ends up
of the lane.
dying. Yeah, it felt like he was making that play as if he had more HP to go with, but Mickey was super low when he started that.
He's going a pretty fragile build to start. I mean, he went Arcane Boots, so it's more about pumping mana into each other, but that means he's squishy. Only 800 HP on this Lesh. Shopify will strike back.
Yeah, I mean, Saberlight will be very happy with that one.
That is a very unexpected kill to get up there.
Yeah, I think Saberlight, you know, as soon as the spells were coming out, it was like, hang on, I could just kill this Lesh.
Mikey, going for solo kill potential here.
Don't strike.
And down bottom.
Stun count.
We'll hold back Zion the cogs, but yeah, RTZ not quite in position to lay down raises. And even if they do, Zion Boxy at this stage just very difficult to burst through.
I actually, you know, Mike, this is a build that people used to do ages ago, back when I played.
So what do we got?
You go for kill threat in laning phase. When you go for this Wex, you're playing around setting up for your own Tornado Meteor combos in lane.
I like
you
that.
rarely see it nowadays. Like 90% just default 4-0.
Is there a reason why we don't? Is it? I'm gonna say, is it just because it's a very difficult thing to execute? No, this is some sort of super high skill play.
Yeah, super high skill. It's also it uses a ton of mana. Literally, like every time you go for the combo, Meteor and Tornado is 350 mana. So, I mean, if he can get a solo kill, if he can hand his own, then that could be huge. Like you said about him being that carry kind of in a way as the Invoker.
So far, Sears on the lanes, pretty close across the board. Just that top lane, where Saberlight's having a bit of a slower start, but did manage to get the kill out of it.
He might just die here.
And the meteor comes down upon him. Fly TP's over, and indeed he's dead.
The fly TP did enough damage.
He's got the build to do this sort of move, and maybe one of the reasons there why Nishi gets caught off guard. He's not necessarily used to playing into invokers that are going to skill like this, Fog.
No, this is literally it's such an old school build / pub build that you see some players do.
Oh, I love this.
For the highlight reels. It's very threatening for the kills you can get. He uses a ton of mana, like I said, but he's not looking to Sunstrike in side lanes. He's just looking to shut down this Pangon. That's very impressive.
And look, he's going to have the Midas one at a good time, right?
Okay.
It's going to be coming out pretty soon. Bottom lane.
Oh no, the Cox.
We'll trap the two of them. See if Crit and Arteezy still able to back away from Boxy and Zai. Arteezy will get the space to step back, get another raise in.
He's going to get another one on him.
Not going to be quite enough to bring down Zai, though. Heals are already being pumped out by Boxy. No one to fall on that bottom lane.
Yeah, Midas at 7 minutes. It's already coming out on the courier. Nisha looking to try to dive.
He's thinking about trying for it.
They both constantly have kind of these... Nisha now at this point has more kill threat than Mikey. But Mikey can definitely get it if Nisha's not careful. Midas is done. I mean, one of the faster ones that we get in the patch.
I mean, it really feels like this game could go two ways. It could either be a Liquid stomping, or it could be the best show that Mikey's given us.
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited. Bottom. Here's the Sunstrike.
Oh, the
quite
Cox.
hitting, but Arteezy will get the triple raise.
Yeah, Arteezy won't mind. Means that he gets the gold instead.
Mikey's like, damn it. Whenever you use Sunstrike like that, you're like, oh, man, now I don't have mana for my lane, but I really wanted that kill. Mikey. Continuing to play careful. He's getting pinged, so Liquid, they're trying to set up for a move here. They de-warded the mid-ward as well. So they know there's no ward here. They might look to dive him. Power Rune, 5 seconds. They're bringing both supports.
A Fly. He's got eyes on Instania. I mean, yeah, just a whole lot of pressure here from Liquid in the mid. Both supports teaming up. I mean, Fly's going to start playing around with Instania off to the side, but Instania's got the backup of Nisha and Boxy. They'll swing over the way of Fly, take him down.
And they secure the rune as well, too. It's up top. Did Sunstrike?
Oh,
he
got a Sunstrike.
All right, Mikey. He's turning up today, Mikey.
Pinging it out. Beautiful. Level 8. So he won't, I mean, he's not going to be delayed on his timing for the double Forge Spirit anyway. Mid tower, though, it is looking to already almost drop with this DD and overcharge on Nisha. It is actually just pretty much dead. He's trying to dispel that DD off, but won't quite connect with the Tornado. Nisha's just going to finish the tower. Yeah,
the supports of Shopify Rebellion for now, they've headed down towards bottom to see if they can set something up with Arteezy, but as it is, Crit gets taken out.
Just a simple setup like that, and they get the kill on it.
As Liquid,
they can
overall, they continue to hold this lead. 2K advantage right now.
They can move around crazy now with Nisha. I mean, Fly is looking incredibly dead.
4 arrows potentially could have been on him there. Instania was also swinging across with...
Arteezy has no TP. They're just going to dive him.
They know he's in it.
Oh, no.
Requiem, but he's got no backup. Okay.
Oh, he found him.
Dragon Tail, in fact, before he can get it off. The TPs are coming in, but the Rolling Thunder's there.
Now Creed is also
I mean,
dead.
Zai just casually picked up the
IO
cripple.
is dead.
They
gotta
can
get
look
out.
to dive in for this clockwork as well. Nisha
Oh, he
will be
missed
off
the
the mark with the
swashbuckle,
swashbuckle,
yeah.
but the 3 members of Liquid, they want to get him. They'll catch him in the frostbite. Another kill here for Liquid as Liquid start to group up and use that early game power that we expect them to have with these heroes.
Oh, almost gets Insidious. I'm surprised they actually finished the TP on the clock. Saberlight made the executive call. He's like, no, I'm not TPing down there. That is a suicide trap. And they're going to get another tower. I mean, they're punishing Greed. You said Midas Invoker.
This is what you were worried about.
I'm telling you, man, like sometimes, even if Mikey's cool doing these cool hot shot plays, their draft is incredibly greedy. And Liquid's, it's just not greedy whatsoever. It's all about applying pressure. So 2 towers taken, 3K lead, Lesh IO pairing up. Going to be quick timing on this Bloodstone. And, I mean, Nisha, he's going to have also a very quick timing on Diffusal. Zai, likely to just go for the Blink next.
They all won the lane so hard, man. Everybody is like 4,400 gold in 10 minutes. That's a lot.
Maybe it's going to bite him back, but maybe he's feeling they're in such a good position that it could work. But
it just feels so good on a DK.
I know.
You just get the blink, your game can kind of stagnate, even if you're getting some kills here and there. You know, get that Midas into the blink, you know, you're going to scale. You're going to feel great. You're going to get that quick BKB.
Okay, well, we'll see if it ends up being good enough. I mean, with the advantage they've set right now, taking early towers, they probably can set up to take the third one top also. And maybe it won't slow down that blink too much on him anyway. 3K lead from Liquid. They're surrounding top. Nisha's here.
Saberlight is dead if he shows.
Maybe he feels that he doesn't need to be the playmaker because of how
But
good
Silencer
Nisha's game
pays the
is.
price. Now Saberlight is okay.
Quick kill first.
Let's see if they got the roll. Okay, they get the
The
roll.
Rolling Thunder from Nisha.
He's got the
They should have a pretty
dome.
good shot. It'll be able to step back to dodge the Rolling Thunder. But the stun from Mickey still
Not
connects.
enough.
Saberlight also taken
He
out.
did a nice
And
shot
the
of
kick
the
bottom
roll.
immediately.
Quick moves. They're in the backup side to help take out RTZ. It's a third
I will
death.
line up, man.
Crit outnumbered.
Everybody.
Liquid. They're going at full speed right now. 11 to 5, 4K.
I will line up, dude.
We're just 11 minutes in.
So fast.
But already feels like Liquid are getting so much done across the map.
They're just, punishing Greed. And you know what? Yes, I fine. He's going to have Midas, and he's going to have an incredible timing on the blink anyway. And yeah, I think it's because also Nisha's just probably like, I'm going to destroy the map. I'm going to literally get kills everywhere. You don't need to worry about it. We don't need you to get the one.
Boxy already got holy
I
locket.
will do it. He's got Diffusal done. Stone Cold Killer today. 5K lead already.
That's a
12 minutes.
pretty terrifying start.
He's went Vanguard. So he's gonna disassemble it and get Bloodstone later.
I think, honestly, I really feel like Mikey, he knew that this was going to be a tough game from the start. That's why he's got it. He's like, guys, I have to carry this.
I mean, you said this game can probably go 2 ways, and I think it's probably going to go the way of Liquid just running over, because even RTZ's queued up the Midas. I think desperation might start kicking in as, wait, is that a... That's a Vanguard.
Vanguard on
I mean,
Lesh.
he's going to disassemble.
He's going to disassemble,
Yeah.
But
right?
still,
So,
okay,
you know.
whatever.
Indeed. Not the Vanguard Lesh of past years where indeed it would be a report. Nowadays with the easier disassemble functions, many things you can build with that Ring of Health and Vit Booster.
All right, Shopify, they got to stop this bleeding. But it's not the easiest. They're all so fragile versus this unbelievably far Pango. DD again on Nisha with the Diffusal finished. They're going to keep punishing.
Oh, SF is going Midas. RTZ is going Midas on SF. Fuck. This is too greedy.
Will triple Midas win a game?
I hope so.
I don't hope so.
Let's validate triple Midas.
Mikey.
I'll put the Fairy of Fire. Good deafening blast. Has got Crit coming in as well, but Nisha still able to take him out with the right clicks. Crit will find Insana in return. He's got backup of Flying Stabilizer heading over to help out, but Crit's taken out as well. Double kill for Nisha. The Rolling Thunder's up, and Mickey, he's coming charging down the lane. Nisha's going to be able to set up onto Stabilizer. Buy time for Mickey to close in onto the Doom. He's under the tier 2s though, and Stabilizer, he's got enough HP to be able to back up and survive.
No mana on Nisha.
The IO is 100 HP, but he'll give his life for that.
He absolutely will. Boxy there, offering up his life to secure Nisha. Another kill. Triple kill for Nisha.
Looks like Liquid did not wake up late today. Looks like they are very on fire with their movements because these are some unbelievably fast rotations. RTZ shows for like a quarter of a second. Zai punishes it. And yeah, Zai, he's going down more scaling. He's not even going for the blink. He's just going to go BKB next.
I mean, honestly, the last few times, I feel like he's got this set up onto RTZ without the blink, right? He's just able to kind of walk up and stun him.
Sure.
So no need for the blink.
Okay.
And there it is.
The Midas.
The trifecta.
Oh my god.
The triple Midas scores. Let's see if they can do it. I mean, honestly, down 5k net worth, you got 3 Midases online. that 5K, you can recover from that.
Zai.
Fly is such a
catch
free
here,
man
but
for
he
the
breaks
Pango.
away. Mikey can't connect with his tornado.
Oh, Zai is dead.
Meteor. So good crashing down onto
Zai is dead. They get the kill.
The
Nice.
Knight.
That's a good
Now they've got to just
441
get
goal
out
for
of there.
Mikey, man.
He's opting to TP out, doesn't want to be here.
I was like, is RTZ actually going to stay around here? That's very reckless.
He's got to run.
He sure does. And they're 5K behind, but I mean, 3 Midases. How much gold is that?
I mean, you do the math.
6,000, so they're actually like 12,000 gold. 11.
Oh, sure. Because
those
kind of
Midases,
considering the essential dead net worth and their items for now.
it takes a long time, a good amount of time for those things to really kick in, right? So this is definitely Liquid's time to just punish and take over absolutely everything. So far, they absolutely have been. Look at all 3 lanes constantly being shoved in onto the side of Shopify. I love it. Like, the reactions that could be in this game could be like, "Oh my God, how dare they go triple Midas?" Or the opposite, it'll be like, "Wow, triple Midas so good."
Dude, that's the side I'm on right now. I'm like, triple Midas, it could do it. Unironically, it could do it. Down 6K, that's not the worst spot to be in. This is it's recoverable. Crit.
I think it's a good
He's
trade.
in with a hook shot.
Just
well.
Mickey should not die.
They can take down Boxer without any interruptions.
I mean, that's a fireman smoke, man.
Just leave Fly behind it.
I mean, get the Doom. Doom is like more valuable than this.
Liquid, they'll be able to look over towards the Doom instead.
Yeah.
Nature will get stuck.
Doom gives more gold and XP.
Leave any difficulties
Fly
in
is
taking down
nothing,
Saberlight.
but
they get a kill, but it's on a support, and it's quite a commitment. It's a global. We see the build from Boxy this game. Most of the games that he played the IL, he just rushed the mech. This time around, I like
He's
it
gonna get a
better.
courier.
He's doing the Holy Locket, then the mech. Crit.
He's playing like Matthew Ricky from yesterday. Oh no, Artis is dead.
With the ult.
I mean, where is your clock, man? Your clock is farming and he dies.
Sunstrike's going to be off the mark. Insania walks out.
They get the kill in the... You can see Crit. It's a desperation. He's cutting the mid wave at the tower, at the base. Gets killed, and they just relocate Mickey top to just have him clear out the wave.
I thought you were going to end that sentence. No, what if we're going to say Crit and desperation, also queuing up the Midas?
Wait, he is? No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine if Crit gives Midas.
See how much Liquid can continue to get whilst Shopify
ITC Midas, Invoker Midas, Doom Midas.
I mean, if they just... I think just go for every single fight, Owen. They really don't have to stop fighting by any means. Just don't let them play the lanes. Farm the entire map. They should effectively, with the way that everything is going to go, and Liquid right now should be able to farm like over 75% of the map. Shopify is going to be very restrictive to be able to find this type of farm. So Boots of Travel now on the Lesh to be able to hunt these people who are on these side lanes. Always pumped up with the IO. And they honestly could force Roche at almost any moment when they see a good opportune position for it on Liquid. Blink Dagger on Mikey. I mean, I like this. When you're going this type of greed, bots Midas, you want Blink so you can push into these very risky positions to shove out the lanes as much as possible, so then you can blink and reset away.
Okay. I mean, yeah, overall, sort of what would you imagine is the build for the Invoker in the situation beyond the Blink? Do you need to get yourself the BKB?
He needs BKB after.
You have to get BKB.
I mean, Shard is also Wait, we'll see Nisha. They might get a big catch.
Good go.
Wait,
yeah,
that's a very big kill.
Mikey's in with the easy Sunstrike there with the cog set up a crit.
He needs to Shard on that.
I think it's Shard into BKB. Shard is a really good farming tool on Invoker when you go for this type of build. You can meteor almost every single wave. Big kill. That is a huge kill, to be honest.
Does Invoker Shard reduce cooldown?
The momentum that's coming up.
I mean, it's as I'm saying, I don't think Liquid's as far ahead as they need to
what
be.
What the fuck?
Like, you're sitting
This
on
hero
a
has no upgrade,
They've
why?
got 3 Midas.
I mean, it's definitely true.
These heroes are going to be massive. Liquid, they've got to keep it sped up.
And they're going to keep doing so, though, right? So let's see if they can actually keep that advantage going versus Shopify's greed. Very good hook shot this time from Crit. Reload top, RTZ. So he should be able to get away.
Yeah. I mean, immediately TP's come in from Shopify Rebellion, make sure that RTZ is going to be safe by the tier 2. Flying Saberlight.
Okay, now they are playing very good. In terms of protecting that
this aggression. The big next timing for Shopify is going to be for these BKBs, the triple BKB timing that will come out for their cores. Liquid's got to just keep hunting.
I mean, they want to go for Mikey, but he's already out.
Just blinks away.
Blinking the TP, he knows that Liquid's going to be heading over towards him.
Nicely done. Liquid, they just have to, I mean, they're just getting pulled all over the place. But they have to move. They have to catch these pesky Midas users. Zai.
Got the high ground, so the Liquid's charging towards them. We'll see who's going to get caught out.
Oh, he got stuck, man. Oh, he got dragon.
On the high ground, and
he's
they'll
not
get the
stuck,
stun
sorry.
to stabilize. So Liquid, now get the 2 kills.
They get a better kill, man. I think
they'll still get crit Nisha. He's in with the swashbuckle.
Doom is the better
Take out the
kill.
two of
Like
them,
Doom
Liquid.
has Midas and the
They have to go
Devourer,
for these
so
type- I mean,
he
they
has
have
a
to
lot of
go for
network,
every
so he
single
gives
kill they
more
can at
gold.
the moment.
Next
But
speed.
look at Mikey. He cuts the mid wave. Arteezy goes top, pushes the wave out. So
I mean,
they're doing some really cool stuff.
He's got his BKB. Mikey's building up the money towards his next item.
Okay.
It's only a 3K, 4K
The Midas are
lead.
paying off right now.
I think this is some big brain stuff from Shopify. I think they sat down and this was the way that they wanted to.
I mean, look at Mikey.
beat Liquid with.
He's looking for Insania. Can he get the solo?
Oh, good Sunstrike. But, he has to back out now.
Oh,
okay.
he cancelled the TP.
Stick around here. There is going to be a relocate coming in.
I mean, he did not have the rolling thunder there.
Global's
He
there.
just
should
cancelled the
build back
TP
off.
though.
Nice global.
Yeah. Puts a stop to any attempted moves there. Flight able to make sure Mikey can retreat to safety.
Liquid. Got to keep going. Got to keep kicking up pace. Lane's in a pretty good spot. Maybe it is going to be soon that Roche timing. Nisha, Brigand's Blade. Didn't get a chance to look at all these neutral items. Now Zai does have Blink, so more ways of initiating. This would be very impressive if Shopify is able to do this with these triple Midases.
This got triple Midas in your pops now.
Push, Mikip, Max Edict. Another glyph. That is the high ground glyph, so they just really want to hang on to any of these outer towers as long as possible. And Arteezy's going to keep shoving out these lanes as far as he can. Liquid trying to farm. You can see even taking away the triangle, trying to get all the farm they can, and now it's going to be that call for Roche.
I mean, Crit,
Okay, they are doing
he's
push.
probably up for a steal.
Oh, yeah. That's all their game plan is.
He'll give it a shot.
Split push and steal as much as you can. Can he get it, though?
Let's see if Crit can do it. He's come in with some good ones in the past.
He's got another rocket in a second.
And Insania does know where he's at. He's under the cover of the smoke for now, Crit. Trying to keep his distance from Insania. They've actually come out the pit. They really want to make sure Crit doesn't get the steal. He's going to get
They're
far
getting
away.
out of
Liquid should have the space to finish this. He got it! Mikey!
The last hit.
Oh no.
Mikey! All right,
Tip him.
Mikey, we see you.
Shit, man. Look at the
Easy
lead now.
strike.
Holy
I
shit.
look at the gold lead.
It is completely
Less than
whitewashed.
1K. Mikey's
They're
at the
doing
top.
it. They're doing it.
Oh my god.
Triple
Midas, triple Midas
It is
push.
the
It's
counter.
paying off.
I mean, look at this bottom lane. They're going to go going on to Mickey. Boxley has hit a lot of damage. Look at this. Right click's coming out. Not quite enough to kill him.
Too much heals.
But definitely enough to scare him a bit. At the same time,
Good size zoom.
Saberlight. He's been able to get the setup here with
Okay,
the
the
two.
relocate is there.
Buddies.
Global silence is there. Saberlight is going to go for the TP out. And he's
Oh shit.
Great global.
yeah, long enough with there with the duration of the global to make sure nothing can
Nice
be
TP there.
casted to hold him in back.
Oh no, that is it.
A nice attempt there from Arteezy. He does still have the BKB, so he can continue
okay.
to hold his ground a little bit.
He has to
Couldn't
TP.
quite get the timing.
That
to go
was
with
his
the
first
Requiem,
BKB
but,
though.
a good intention there.
The high five at the end there. Oh,
Oh, wait.
Misha, he found him.
All right, well, that, not the
Damn.
spot that he wanted to TP out.
Punished for greed this time.
Where it ends up
He
being.
thought he was safe. Fuck.
All right, Liquid, they have to hunt these pesky rats all over the place. This time they'll get a big one. And it's still, I mean, Shopify's still doing very clever moves with the way they're getting all this constant split push going. But Liquid's still the determiners of how this game is going to be. It's like kind of like Liquid's game to almost in a way lose because they have to be.
I think
the ones
Zai is gonna
setting
go
that
Manta
tempo,
this time
slowing
after
down
this
Shopify.
Manta
And Shopify,
scepter.
it's just keep playing greed, keep pushing outside lanes, keep going for clever catches and playing around your global versus this IO relocate.
I said that's the thing.
Got
You know,
KB.
they're 4K ahead. Only taking out the 1 tier 2. I think Liquid would have wanted to get a whole lot more by now.
They got to keep going. They got to keep trying to find everyone. BKBs, yeah, 3 BKBs about to be finished for Shopify. That will let them actually take a direct team fight, which has not been able to happen for them so far. It's all about just moving around.
With those BKBs, they don't do any damage on Liquid, you know. So it's a very
3
good
minutes left
timing, you
on
know.
Aegis.
Once they get the Saberlight BKB, they will want to fight with the smoke, and they do zero damage. Only pure damage is there from this guy.
Quite spotted out by
From Lesh.
Liquid.
Other than that, there's no damage. They have to
Global
like wait
cooldown,
out the
30 seconds,
BKBs.
Doom as well. Oh, Liquid might find some big stuff here if they're not careful, but Mikey, he is absolutely playing careful. Blasts the wave. Gets out. Same thing for Saberlight. Reading the map nicely.
Yeah, I mean, they're making the pings over towards Crit, but...
Why do you say
not
that?
looking
No,
like they'll catch anyone off that move, Liquid. At the least, they'll be able to start pushing this top wave around.
Zai's already setting up. They have that ward on the cliff. TP's coming in. They ping it out immediately. Can RTZ get away?
Why did RTZ BKB so early?
I mean, at the same time, maybe seeing if they can set up aggressively onto Boxy with that global, but the global comes to an end. Boxy's able to tether across. Cogs.
Oh, he's stuck.
He's just going to get stuck in that cliff spot. So he won't be able to get in aggressive, has to back up into the river.
You got Cogs pushed away, dude. That
oh, he's getting...
God,
I feel like every game, at least one person gets caught there for a little bit. And look at Mikey. TP's top immediately. He's going to meteor the wave. Try to keep things rolling. Try to keep pulling attention all over the place. So Liquid.
So Shard reduces... Wait.
Still haven't taken out the
The
mid tier
fuck,
2.
man? I mean, Shard reduces cooldown of Dehano. That is very nice.
I mean, they should be able to at least take that off the map now with this heavy push, the 5 of them.
Dragon scale DK.
But feels like they want to try and push for more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, straight up to the high ground.
Did Saberlight get BKB? Oh, he got BKB just now.
There's still no glyph. Remember when they used it for the tier 2 earlier? It's still on cooldown for the tier 3. So Liquid actually timed this, I'd assume, because it's 15 seconds until it comes up. They get it.
Yeah, they get it.
Glyph is up for the rest
stick
now,
around.
but they got to keep going. This could be that big move from Liquid.
Back, yeah, back of course for the racks with the tier 3 going out. Still a minute on the Aegis from Nikkei.
RTZ's looking to cut the wave all the way back there, so this is the last one that Liquid has.
Meatballs coming down.
But there's a catapult there.
Yeah. With the catapult, always annoying.
2 seconds.
He doesn't die fast. So they got this racks and they can go bot also. They still have the Aegis. I mean, they can go bot. There's no glyph now.
They'll let those racks go. They know there's nothing to stop it. So Liquid.
Okay, they are deciding to play safe.
Major
Yeah, he just like 30 seconds, so they want to play safe.
Closing the game up. They take a full set of racks.
That's a pretty damn good hit with a first Aegis, I would say. You're playing into these Midases, you know how they're playing, and you actually get that, and RTZ just has to insta BKB. Where's the Bashers at? Nisha, obviously he's going to queue it up immediately after all these next few moves. I mean, he'll get it pretty quick with the way they're following around, but...
And you like this build as well from RTZ, so we get the BKB into the Aghanims.
Oh. Okay. I mean, that is an interesting one. I thought he was still just going to go Arcane Blink and stuff like that. Okay. I mean, we'll see if it pays off.
I mean, without a doubt, if they hit the combos, right, they'll have a pretty good team fight around sort of the coverage of the global silence, RTZ getting in with the Aghanims, Requiem, and Mikey just dropping down the damage.
They do have a lot of answers through it also, though, on the side of Liquid. They have BKBs.
Okay.
So BKB,
Scepter is really good,
BKB, I think
SF,
just
like,
also,
SF Scepter is very
become
annoying.
immune to a lot of that damage.
It's more annoying than it's doing damage.
It's surprising that he is going a little bit more magic-oriented rather than more hard right clicks on SF. Yes, it gives you more max souls, but not something like a crit. Interesting approach.
Shopify, that's feeling kind of strong. I mean, the 4 of them are heading out in this top lane.
They can actually
fight. They're going to try and start a fight here. Crit, he's in with a hook shot. They've got the Requiem, the global silence, but the BKB's off from Mickey. As Mickey, he'll get doomed.
Mickey needs to get out, man.
Out. And the fact that he's pumping out damage, he'll try and stand
what the fuck? This is dead. Damn. Damn, Mickey is just fighting through that doom, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, I am really too much.
They're not going to be able to kill this Lesh. Mickey, more than fine. As Saberlight will also fall 3 dead on Shopify Rebellion. As just not able to set things up. And
I think he needs Arcane Blink on SF.
And the whole move is just... It's not going to succeed after that.
He's hunting. Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Blink for Mikey. Liquid. They're getting these big kills that they need to close the game out. Basher's now done for Nisha, so good luck with your BKBs as well.
I'll check this out again. So sort of the timing there, they're in with the combo, but yeah, able to get the BKB off, and at that point, he doesn't even care if he's doomed.
I mean, where was Saberlight? I guess he doesn't have Blink, right? So he can't actually get the Doom off to be able to prevent that BKB initially. And Liquid now with that, there's no glyph, straight to high ground. Shopify has no way to defend against this push. They used literally literally everything in that last fight.
And they don't have BKB also now. I mean, let's
see if Liquid can get another full set of racks.
Oh, Zai's got Aghanims already. He's got the blue dragon before the level 18.
He jumps in aggressively with the BKB. He's looking to try and get on top of Mikey. The Ghost walks there, but
Mikey's dead. He had the BKB.
Mikey's gone. They'll get the rolling
no.
towards the Stabilite Doom.
I think this is GG, man. Game 1 is over.
As
With
Liquid,
3 Midas, they're scared, but not enough.
Without any further interruptions.
It's not enough, bro.
They've done it.
It's not enough.
Now they can just keep pushing. There's no way that Shopify takes a single fight.
They gotta buy back on Mikey. Mikey has to buy
They're gonna
back.
have to buy back. They'll force him away. But Liquid,
I think they need to wait for Roche. It's 15 seconds only.
Roche soon on the horizon. 15 seconds until we see that spawning. The triple Midases are not working on. But it looked cool. They were doing some cool moves, but Liquid...
I'm just disappointed.
They need Arcane Blink right now. Arcane Blink.
Liquid,
like,
if it's a team
like
that
with the proc hook, they go in and they try to burst it. Burst the Lashak with the Arcane Blink.
Nicely.
So you'd say triple Midas can work, but you wouldn't advise doing against Liquid?
No. I mean, maybe in a pub or something like that. Oh, God, I'm going to create so many pubs. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well,
no, I mean, if you're very coordinated with the Midases and you know exactly how to split push and get things going, maybe it can work, but it's a risk. And the way the Liquid set up their draft, it's all about applying pressure.
Well, the game's not over yet.
Not quite yet.
I still believe. I'm sure there's some believers in chat as well.
Hey, let's see. They want to smoke.
I love your optimism.
Could occur here.
I just got the scepter now.
Shopify Rebellion, they're going to smoke out and look for it.
Nisha, I believe he now has Aeon Disc. So he's going to be tough to be able to bring down. And Mick is always,
they want to fight the
always getting saved from Boxy, who almost has a BKB
yeah, set
on
up
the IO as
with
well.
the wards. And now...
Once Boxy has that,
I don't know why they are waiting. I think they need to go
stick on top of Mickey and keep those heals going. Because last fight, he actually got split away
from smoke on smoke action,
Mickey, but it didn't end up mattering.
Ooh, smoke on smoke. Crit. He's going to go for the outpost.
They found someone. They found someone. Block. Oh.
What's the rolling thunder? Use Stabilite is able to turn and get the Doom down.
Can they burst this guy? Can they burst this guy?
See if there's going to be enough damage to burst through this. They're throwing everything down onto Mickey.
No, but he's got to buy back.
They take Mickey out.
Now they got nothing. This fight is over, man. This fight is over for this Shopify Rebellion. I mean, they use everything on Nisha and Nisha just buy back. And now what do you do? What do you do, man? This game is over.
He'll also fall a team wipe.
GG.
Yeah, that was the last thing.
Decent attempts.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Maybe next time. Who knows? But indeed, Liquid, they'll get this first game win. 33-12, 16k lead here at 31 minutes in. And yeah, Shopify Rebellion, they had a plan. They tried something. It was a little bit different, but it didn't pay off, unfortunately, in the literal sense.
No, I mean, honestly, if Liquid doesn't play as clean as they do, maybe with all the split pushing, they can just trickle back into it. But it was very quick. Like Boxy, we saw a couple times with these relocates, like 10% HP, he reloads to just force the issue, force these fights, don't let them get out of the map. And yeah, overall, I mean, a pretty one-sided game, I would say, from Liquid, but Shopify doing some cool stuff to perhaps be able to recover from this one.
But at the end of the day, as was the case here, perhaps was not good enough. No. Team Liquid looking, like they woke up this morning, as they said before, not normally the hottest on these first series of the day, but they were looking very, very good here. Nisha having no struggles, back on the Pango and back on top form, 9-2-14. Excellent stuff from him. And once again from the mids. There we go, Liquid. They'll start off this series with a Game 1 win.
They do indeed. A strong showing from Team Liquid against Shopify Rebellion in this first game of this best of 3. We'll see what the answer is from Shopify in game number 2. But first, let's break this game down. When we sent you over to ODPixel and Fogged, we talked about how important the laning stage was going to be in this game in particular, and that would be where Shopify would need to show up and maybe get an advantage. But Purge, they did not win the laning stage. It was actually fairly even, actually maybe slightly in favor of Team Liquid, that one.
Yeah, Team Liquid had a little advantage from it. It kind of got out of hand in the mid game with those like 2 fights at the same time thing that Liquid was doing. They'd like win a fight, getting a kill here, and then while that was halfway done, they'd relocate to finish up a kill on RTZ. Those are the kind of moves that really just kept Liquid ahead in terms of net worth, even against the Midas disparity. And even though the game looked kind of one-sided at the end, there's just like some minor things. Like maybe I feel like Shopify could have lost this game at a later point if they played a little better, but it didn't really seem like it was going well. Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't think Shopify would play the game this way at all. I mean, I guess Mikey went for the Exort Invoker because it's a better matchup versus Pango mid, but I mean, you can't really play a pub-style Invoker versus a team like Liquid, and I think the triple Midas was absolutely not...
A bit much.
It's not the way to go.
No.
And the issue with playing Exort Invoker mid is, okay, so you think that winning mid is probably the best thing that you can do, but it turns out not to be once Liquid turns up the pressure and the Pango is rotating bottom with his Crystal Maiden and his other supports, and they're diving the tower with 3 heroes on the SF, and Clockwork is the only person TPing in. That is something the mid laner is at fault for. Like a QW Invoker with a Vessel TPing in there and playing with the clock would have made all the difference. And like, with all due respect to Mikey, he's an incredibly talented player, and he's the one who held them in the game for that long. He put them in that position in the first place by playing the way that he did. I really don't think you can get away with the Miracle style, pub style Invoker in today's Dota meta. It doesn't work, and I really feel like their take from the start was bad. It was not right.
Especially if your 2 other side laners are building into Midases as well. I mean, I get what they were going for. You know, obviously they saw the same thing in their draft that we did, which is like, if they can get to the late game, they did have really good answers for the Liquid lineup. They did have really excellent scaling. It's just that they never really got there. And Effie, you mentioned it previously. I think the niche factor. You always have to consider. This guy, he can always pop off, win the side lanes, and make up for whatever draft disadvantages we can, you know, whatever we want to point out. Not that there were really disadvantages, because honestly, I feel like they obviously knew that they wanted to get ahead from like the early game and from laning, and that was their take on the game, and then to just like massively up the pace of the game with the IO. But it was all on the back of Nisha's rotations. Yeah,
his rotations were so good. He was just like exploding supports every time he got near them. It's like, oh, here's a little silencer, but it's not a full-fledged team fight. I'm just going to swashbuckle, shield crash, blow them up, and then go for the core afterwards. So his impact was just so high.
Yeah, Liquid rotated incredibly well. They saw their opportunities and they took it, and they did not slow down the pace whatsoever. But I just feel like Shopify could have played a lot better. And there were a couple of globals which were uncharacteristically bad for Fly. Like, I think there was one where he was TPing in, so Doom gets the initiation on, I believe, the DK, and then the Clockwork hook shots in, and I think Silencer is TPing top. So he globals really late. He globals after the relocate. I mean, at that point, just cancel your TP and global so that they can get the kill on DK. And then what happened afterwards, there was this domino effect that they relocated back and the SF was there, and he tried to make a play, but it didn't work. But then SF had to TP to the top lane where Pango was waiting, and he died there. And that was all a domino effect of one bad global. And that wasn't the only bad global. There were 2 in that game that I feel were very pivotal. So as well as Liquid played today, I feel like this is one of Shopify's bad days, because Arteezy mentioned in his interview yesterday that sometimes they just have bad days. So
Yeah, another example that, like, the second time Arteezy was mid-wave cutting, he goes to the mid-wave, he clears it, in vision, pops BKB, TP's back, and then they took a fight like 45 seconds later, and he just didn't have BKB. That's the one where Leshrac got his BKB off right before the Requiem.
Yeah.
So then after he doesn't get Requiemed and bursted in that moment, Arteezy doesn't have BKB to take like a semi-normal fight, so then they just get smashed. It was like, and they could have maybe just kept dodging. So it was like they did something a little greedy.
That's what I was thinking.
And it messed everything up. And then they lost that fight. And then they got mid-racks because their glyph was 15 seconds too late. The catapult wouldn't die. They couldn't nuke with. It was just a cascade.
My gut reaction to that fight was the same thing of like what you just said, where I'm thinking, like, if I'm in that game and that fight happens, it's like, man, why didn't we just wait until later? We had 3 Midases. They actually were farming just fine. Like, the game was fairly even once we got.
They're behind, but keeping up.
But with Midases, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you can wait for that next item. You can wait for the Arcane Blink that makes that actually a successful play.
Or just his BKB to be up.
Or just the BKB to be up.
No, and speaking of the Arcane Blink, if he had an Arcane Blink instead of an Aghanims, when they went for that initiation on Leshrac, they would have burst the Leshrac before his BKB was pressed. So I think the Aghs first, while conceptually was cool, like I liked the idea of going Aghs into Refresher, I think the Arcane Blink was what they needed at that moment if they were going to go for these burst plays. So, and this is not to take away from Liquid at all, because Liquid looked clean the way that they always do. They played impeccably. I just think Shopify made so many key mistakes. But I remember them saying that they want to make Mikey feel comfortable.
Yes.
That's the important thing that they're prioritizing. So if Mikey felt most comfortable playing the Exort Invoker, the Midas Travels Invoker into the Pango, then I think that's why the double Midases came out from the side lanes, because they knew that their mid player was going to take it late.
Yeah.
So I think they reacted instead of having that be their game plan.
Well, Good news for everybody that is backing Shopify Rebellion. This squad of players
3 minus.
has had a long-standing tradition of needing a warm-up game in their best of 3 series. So potentially, we're going to see them showing up big in game number 2 here, forcing out that third game. We'll find out, of course, because a draft of Team Liquid and Shopify is coming at you after this.
Yay! When? Thought they were gonna show something. Finance back. We'll watch some in-game Dota then. GPK is playing battered. Let's go. But it's mixed up. Hamel is playing this stuff. Bernard is also there. Dobson is playing Sniper. So it's playing Sniper. Pew. Oh, he's got 6. Almost. Whereas we would have not got the Environ. Excalibur. He's queued up straight into the mage slayer. Now Dobson has to be, I think, careful, you know. Okay, Storm is showing body. Killed Morita.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, the triple stack. It's doing the triple stack. Damn, it's a lot of fun. Three shots dead. Oh, he did not take ulti. Oh, he got a fear. Can he actually fight back? Oh, they didn't want to play. 3 deaths on TP, man. 2 deaths on time. This was very bad. And Dobson team is owning all lanes. He's gonna finish up the stacks now. And I think he needs like... Okay. He needs like 600 gold for the mix there. No, 400. Pew.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Another stack. Dobson has like 5 stacks already. He has stacked 5 camps. The heck are this guy so? Mira. 0.
This will come in handy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh no, this tip is dead. Shit, Lich is 6. Oh, they got the Jack kill though. He got the Jack kill before he died, so it's very good. He's got a lot of XP there. Sniper finished the Mage Slayer. Let's see what Mage Slayer does. It gives 25% magic resistance, 20 attack speed, 20 damage, 2 mana regen, and 10 intelligence. Then it places a debuff that does 35% less spell damage for 6 seconds. It's a very good item. Cost 2400. So now DB, look at how much DB is healing. DB is not healing anything. He's dead. I think she might just buy back at this point and just end the game. I guess she doesn't have buyback gold. She doesn't actually have buyback gold. Oh my god, Thompson is a Giga Chat player. He's trying. Oh no, not enough. Not enough. He needs another teammate. No? I think they do not have the spells. What the fuck is showing though? What the fuck? I mean, I don't know why the fuck it is showing ESL. I'm watching a game but it is showing ESL. Oh, I did not transition. Oh shit, I forgot. Forgot to transition was, sorry.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thompson is dead.
Radiant's
He's so
bottom
dead.
tower is under attack.
Oh wait, Storm doesn't have enough mana to come here.
Has fallen.
But he needs to run. Okay. The haste stone. Oh shit. Oh wait, the Lich Frost. Oh my god. Oh, they thought they had the number of sniper, but shit. Oh no.
Radiant structures are
A little bit luck and little bit gameplay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Thompson is 40 agility and 10 dual damage. Just now he got a dual damage. I mean, this is a very farm sniper, man.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
10 damage. They are smoke. They want to get the sniper. They don't have a blink,
Dire's middle tower
so I
is
don't know.
under
Oh,
attack.
I think they need to like, yeah. Oh wait, he got blink. Wow. The fuck, man? That's a very quick blink on that. See, he got Blademan blink at this point. Like this is a very calm incident. The safe lane is man. The fuck?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Playing Blademan very fast.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Thompson has to be very careful now. They can go smoke again and kill this guy. I think he needs another like item.
Scanning.
And if he goes MOM, he's gonna die very fast also. Unless until they save him from the duel. Look at how small the map has become for them.
Dire's turret has been killed.
Okay. I think yeah, he's going satanic next. I mean that LC is gonna hurt him. Where's LC? This dial lineup is so greedy. Oh ho ho ho! Oh no, LC is dead. Wait, is the game come? Is the draft started? Oh, the draft has actually started.
I think they might have to just reveal their 5 here, just so we can understand their draft a little more.
Yeah, a lot of flies go-to heroes are banned here. I agree, Shiver, that Invoker can combo with the Nyx Assassin. Oh no, not. Oh. Point your toes. Very important.
Oh my goodness.
First rule of stretching, you just gotta force it past the pain.
Good.
Different support for Team Liquid though, going for a Rubik this game. See him not touched ban-wise, just choosing it to be better, I guess. Maybe they wanted more lockdown. They felt that there were some weaknesses.
Was not leg.
Maybe they're thinking about their Shadow Demon also, that Fly's been playing recently.
That could work. It was quite good against Celeste. Not so good if your opponent doesn't have a traditional carry though.
Well,
they surely are taking some of their bonus time. Of course, they pick 2 in a row here, which means they gotta be setting up the majority of their game.
I mean, they are going for the IO guys.
I still don't mind the clock.
They went for
I mean, I get it.
and
There's no silencer this time to like protect the initiations and the reload, but clock actually has a positive win rate against Rubik, despite what a lot of people think. Rubik doesn't like playing against heroes that just like run him down in lane, and BSJ mentioned the point of if Rubik is using nuke on anything but the creep wave, you're not getting that damage reduction, you're not getting that lane pushing ability, and so I actually think clock is pretty decent against Rubik. Obviously, you can lift out of the cogs. They're going to go for the SD.
And the other thing is no range creep secure with the Rubik was what he said, I believe.
Yeah, because you have to nuke the clockwork if you want to trade with him.
Yeah, but if you're right, the Shadow Demon gets picked by Shopify.
I like Shadow Demon versus Leshrac, right? The Purge is quite good. I like him for RTZ's hero pool, his Ludas and his Terrorblades. It makes a lot of sense, but also if they're still considering an Exort Invoker, it's set up for Sunstrike, it's set up for spells, or if they go traditional lines later as the game scales, it's also solid for an Invoker pairing, so. I mean, it made the most sense. Like, his Undying is gone, his Silencer is gone. Like, what do you really go for here?
Yeah, the downside is they don't have the global silence against the relocate. Not that it was amazing last game, but it still had good potential. And it also felt like Silencer just was getting smashed in almost all these rotations.
Dude.
Wait, Dark Willow.
Were you going to say Dark Willow?
Yes. I was waiting for you to finish. It's because I talk about Willow as like the pseudo disruptor counter for Io, and because Aramis played it so well yesterday, and Crit is a level 30 Dark Willow, I'm sure he was like, let me play it. I can do the same thing. I'm 100% sure that was the conversation happening, but then the counter conversation, Volvo was probably like, but we don't have solid lockdown, we don't have solid lockdown. And then I think Crit had to actually convince them for the solo pick here. And it's true, you don't have solid lockdown. You have to play a perfect Willow game the way that Aramis did for it to actually look good. So I'm 50-50 on this hero. I spam it a lot also, but that's why I don't believe in it most of the time.
It is not a very popular pick at the moment for various reasons. Now, I will say it does work together well with the Shadow Demon. It means you can set up your brambles a little bit better, so the synergy is definitely there. Also, it makes it harder to run away from a Doom, so you can maybe catch them a little bit easier. That being said, Slark is still pretty good against a Dark Willow.
I would say so. He purges off her spells quite easily. She can kind of Shadow Realm and kite him and all of that, so it's a little 50-50, but Slark is one of the much better carries versus her. The concept of Dark Willow versus Io is pretty simple. Like when Io relocates in, you just press Terrorize, and then the Io has to split. Like you place a bramble, Io splits from his tethered target, you can separate them and kill them. Or you can just Terrorize them both away if you couldn't get the correct bramble placed. And it works as kind of like a Static Storm, but very, very easily countered by BKB. I've also seen some IOs in pubs have to go BKB versus Dark Willow, just so they don't get feared away from their other target. But I don't think that'll be the case here.
That'll be a later concern. We'll see if it gets to that point, because previous game, of course. I mean, at some point, either one of these teams is gonna get a big lead. And if it is Shopify, there is a Lone Druid. But if it is Shopify, then maybe by that time we'll see the IO being too poor to even consider BKB. Speaking of fears, the bear can also fear.
Shivar, I really liked Centaur here for Team Liquid. You got the Rubik Centaur lane. You can also run away from the Doom even if he gets the Ags. However, the Lone Druid, this does switch things up. There's not that many heroes in Dota that beat Lone Druid in lane. However, one of them is Nature's Prophet, and he's still in the pool, ladies and gentlemen.
You could also Storm for Nisha and then just play an offlane Lesh, right? It's not so bad.
But does Lesh do well against Lone Druid?
I don't think so.
It's
I mean,
okay.
It's probably fine.
They can make
60,
Nisha
40.
play Lesh, and then put Zai on the Nature's Prophet. Still win.
I mean, they have kind of weak Disable on Shopify outside of getting doomed, right? So Slark can kind of frontline, so they could get away with like a non-traditional offlaner.
I still believe in the Centaur, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, you get SD purged as well, and you just run away from it. All of these things are just
true.
You just run away from.
No,
That's actually true. They don't have you don't have stuns on Shopify. I mean, you picked Willow as your pseudo stun, and you kind of have to play a perfect Willow game to make it work.
Brambles and then Tangles. Very good. Cold Snap.
Come on, if they picked Sand King, that's the other team. If some team picked Sand King, then any team is willing to pick Centaur. Sand King's a garbage hero. I rest my case.
If any team knows the answer to Lone Druid, it would be Team Liquid that has, for the longest time, tried to work in Lone Druids into their drafts with Koikfa, with Matu, so they are very well aware of how to deal, or they should be very well aware of what counters this hero as well.
I mean, Relocate's a good step forward. When RTZ played Lone Druid the other day, he was just getting kind of focused by enemy squads, so maybe you pick some kind of like a hunting hero. It could be Centaur, somebody that sets up, finds him on the map, and then you just relocate, kill him repeatedly. That could keep him down and make his split push pressure and tower siege less threatening.
Purge, how does Big Fat Underlord do?
Right?
Oh, that was what I was just asking.
Big Fat Underlord,
how does Big Fat Underlord do against Lone Druid in lane?
In lane, it's probably okay. I mean, you're reducing the bear's
They
damage.
got a Big Fat Underlord.
Sick. Nice job, guys.
Very good,
It
guys.
should be fine. You're doing percentage damage. He's got magic resistance on him and his bear, but the root should be annoying. Seems okay.
I think it's pretty good, actually. I think he'll be able to see us easily. He's going to build Greaves and Crimson if they need to protect their buildings at some point. Like, he'll have the damage mitigation. I think the gate will help him match any kind of IO movement, so he'll be able to join fights. I don't really think that they're concerned too much about this Underlord's position in this game. He's just going to be their damage mitigator guy, right?
And they got another way to global, man.
Slark versus Lone Druid has a pretty good matchup because you can purge off the fear. Like you can body this Lone Druid, get a lot of stacks if you have a good lane. And they have the Nisha factor again. I think Mikey definitely definitely 1000% has to play Crossflex this game. If he doesn't, I'll be very...
But Effie, he's got the Shadow Demon set up for Sunstrike.
It's like, if it's another Exort Invoker, I feel like it's just GG from minute one. So if it plays Crossflex and tries to like potentially be the playmaker for his team and maybe exploit this IO Lesh combo before they're too strong, Shopify may have a chance, but I think the Underlord pick just cemented Liquid's draft.
I like it. I mean, it's another kiting type man that's not the Centaur, so that's good. But then I think it probably does better in lane against the Lone Druid. You've got that percentage damage as well for the bear. It's basically Centaur with a little bit less runaway factor and more like I'm going to be annoying for the Lone Druid bear factor, which I like.
And like, who's threatening you early game if you're Underlord?
Nobody. Nobody's
The
threatening.
supports are not going to
Nobody
kill
is
you.
threatening Underlord.
Not in the early game.
Well, we're gonna find out. Maybe Shopify Rebellion can prove my panel wrong and force out a third game to this best of 3 series. We're heading over to OD Pixel and Fog for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, game 2 here. Team Liquid versus Shopify Rebellion. Some change-ups, of course, in the draft. You started off pretty similar, but ended up rather different here from both sides.
Yeah.
What do you make of this overall? What do you think Shopify Rebellion will change up in the way that they play, and what have they changed up with their approach here in the draft, Fox?
I mean, there's some similarities, of course, but yeah, that Lone Druid, it's definitely just an overall better hero for early timing and stuff like that overall throughout the game. I'm just waiting to see if Mikey's going to go Quaswex. I really 1000% think he should this game, playing versus the Slash, playing versus the IO. The matchup is good too. I think he will. I think very likely that he will this game just to make space around the map. So that's been changed. For Liquid, I think their answers are actually beautiful. Underlord is one of the best heroes in the game versus Lone Druid at all stages. Percent-based damage for him in the bear. They have global reach constantly around the map from Liquid, so they have this IO relocate, they have the Fiend's Gate that's going to be matching any type of tempo stuff too, so I really like what Liquid's got again.
And do you think so, a good game for Crit to bring back one of his all-time favorites here, the Dark Willow, or do you think it's going to be a difficult one for him?
I think it's going to be difficult, Owen. I can see why he wanted it versus the IO, of course, to be able to get that fear on relocates and stuff like that, but as for what he's going to threaten besides that, it looks a bit limited. He doesn't really do too well. You know, Rubik just loves to play versus that. You get better spells than he does. Slark doesn't really mind playing versus it either, so a lot of concerns, I would say, for Shopify this time. They have impressed a lot of times with this Lone Druid. They have done some magic with it, but I think Liquid today, they're looking fresh, looking sharp, especially with Nisha.
Oh, let's see. Let's see how some of these lanes go. I mean, with the matchups, is there a lane in particular that you feel has the potential to go really, really down in sort of one direction?
I think everybody should do... I don't think there should be anybody that gets massively crushed or anything. Underlord should farm. Lone Druid should be pretty okay. Bottom lane, honestly, Saberlight should be pretty okay as long as they... maybe Saberlight will be the one that suffers a little, but I don't think he should suffer too much unless he makes a really big mistake. So this one lane should be pretty close.
Well, let's see, because, yeah, after that game one, you know, Shopify Rebellion very much going all in sort of that kind of high-risk, high-reward approach with the Midases. Well,
Oh no, I
almost
forgot to
certainly see them go
transition.
for something different in terms of item builds this game.
Yeah.
Bottom lane,
Okay.
be able to get him. Very nicely done here. As soon as the Scorched Earth is ready to go, Saberlight just charges him down. And Mickey taken out of the lane.
That's a bit of a surprising one. I mean, Crit, this is his Willow factor. The Grandmaster ends up making a very big kill. Like I said, I was worried for Saberlight perhaps in this lane, but able to make it happen before Mickey hits too. Big stuff. Top, the one thing about the Bear in this game, they have a lot of damage reduction, right? We're going to be seeing Zai building toward these auras. Atrophy aura, Fade Bolt. I feel like I mention it every single time now when I see all this type of damage reduction. It adds up. It really, really does when you're playing versus these heavy physical damage heroes. All in all, it's a big kill that they get bottom, but I think things will just shift back into the Slark's favor now that he's hit level 2 with that IO. Fly. He is actually going down. Not a position, nothing you never want to die versus an Underlord. It's one of the worst things that can possibly happen in a laning phase because he just gets free 30 damage for like the next almost like 2 creep waves. It's pretty brutal when you do die to him.
Yeah, Artesia at the least trying to keep the bear on Zai.
Nice
push him away from being able to get in and get any denies under the tower.
Can they maybe go for Zai
He's
here?
kind of low. And, he'll be able to pop a Firestorm down onto
Oh wait,
Fly.
Fly is my dead
As
again.
well, keeping him in the Firestorm for at least like an extra tick. One more right click from Zai would do it. He's trying to find him here in the trees.
Oh no.
Fly Incredibly close to going down as soon as he was back to the lane there.
What's going on in the mid lane right now? I mean, Mikey, damn it. I knew I'd do it at least once. Mikey, he's 5-5. Nisha is actually doing amazing right now, 12-6. It's definitely a less favored matchup a bit here, but yeah, that's impressive in these first few waves.
Mickey.
Slight less favored. I shouldn't say too less favored, sorry.
Does it get any easier for the Invoker as the levels come in? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I want to see if he gets like a damage item maybe, but looks like, I mean, just a null. That'll help him get at least a bit of last hits, but glad to see at least he's going crossways. Last game, you know, some people can look at it and it was like, oh, we didn't get to see any team fights. It was really boring. It was a cool attempt there from Shopify. I mean, I hate Midases, especially when there's 3 of them. But it was a cool approach and a cool, their own way of trying to bring the game. This time, we should be able to at least see team fights constantly back and forth.
Yeah. And that's what Mikey's excelled at in the games before when he's played the Invoker, right?
Absolutely. I want to see him making just big rotations. The guy, he's very good at making. He's very good at identifying where he's supposed to go. But man, he is really getting. Like Nisha is destroying him.
Oh yeah, Nisha is. He's looking terrifying today. You know, as I said, that game 1 performance, fantastic stuff on the Pango, and already straight into this game 2. Absolutely dominating the mid lane.
Arteezy?
Arteezy potentially in trouble.
Arteezy's dead.
One more right click, he's got him.
Liquid with some very, very good laning starts here. The mid one is the biggest one that just, I cannot believe how much that's going. Underlord, I figured this hero, this is such a good Underlord game. It's actually insane. They're very limited on damage on Shopify. And he's just going to be able to get those auras and the 5% damage versus Lone Druid. Like I said, it's one of the best heroes. It's like Bristleback, I believe Wyvern and Underlord are literally the top 3 that you want to play versus alone. And Wyvern's a dead hero.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, Liquid, they're very quick in picking up that Underlord at the end of the draft.
Oh my god, TC almost just dies again.
Arteezy is getting caught.
Be careful around these two. Zai
How's he getting caught?
Very strong right now.
5 poison stacks.
Oh shit. Right there. Zai almost
Not going to be quite enough. Zai, he'll be fine.
What, Insania, did you just eat that tango? How dare you? He's like full HP.
I mean,
Zai. What are you doing?
Yeah, but was he trying to give it a Zai and then he clicked a tree instead?
No.
He just ate it.
Whatever.
I mean, he's like, yeah, Zai's fine. He's got a ring of health, right?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, sure.
He's got a ring of health. He doesn't need a tango.
He should have given it to his buddy. Whatever. He's gonna have the Vanguard anyway up there. 25-12 to 14-8. Mikey should start being able to recover bottom. They actually get a good connection on Mickey.
Mickey's dead.
They've got enough to take Mickey down. He's got the stick charges, trying to survive against Stabilite, but will.
Wow.
The dome armor is too much, man. He gets like 6. He's like 9 armor.
Look at the creep that Stabilite's using. I actually think this is making the difference. It's the anti-heal reduction. This is actually really clever. I've never seen someone actually use this creep and make it useful.
75
against Slark IO lane.
That's cool. I literally have never. That is like the worst one you ever want to get. But in this lane,
yeah,
it's actually not bad. But now Stabilite.
Get the camera on, man. They're trying to chase the dude.
He might just die himself.
Box is dead.
Okay.
All right.
Disaster in the bot lane.
Yeah,
winning both the other lanes, top and
mid. Step up rather aggressive here to try and lead into some sort of play, but Mikey's got the backup. Flying Cripper around, and Stania's got the fairy fire. And that will save him.
Yeah.
Oh, even if that hit, he would have still been fine. The one right click wouldn't have been enough, and Stania's out of there. He's able to walk away from the 3 of them.
They did not see the fairy fire, I guess. They stopped like 1 or 2 auto attacks on the SD. Lots of rotations going to start happening here. Zai, he can be left alone. Up top, Vanguard's done on the Underlord. Doesn't have any threat from the Lone Druid by any means. Decent rotation from Shopify, but doesn't get them the kill. They have to be able to make moves to help out mid lane. Prevent this Lesh from getting these runes. I'm impressed from bottom lane, though, so far, from the side of Shopify. This Doom, this Willow, can be a bit volatile, but, I mean, Stabilite, he's going to pretty much have his Midas finished.
He's got it better time than the last game.
Hell yeah.
Last game he had like 10 minutes Midas.
Cool stuff.
I mean, yeah. They're looking at sort of across all 3 lanes now. The recovery is being made. I mean, Mikey's sure he's still
Nisha is out of mana. This EMP,
but
this EMP invoker is
the difference isn't as bad as it was earlier.
It's only
nice to go base.
It's about 600. It's pretty significant, of course. but he does have that urn, and we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it.
I mean, Doom has got Doom,
It's
man.
very difficult,
He just
though,
needs
right?
mana.
Like, the damage is still pretty
I think
limited
they
on
can
these
go
side
for the
lanes.
kill on Mickey.
Maybe he can make a rotation bottom to kill like an IO or something like that and get that charge.
They
up
can
for
kill the
himself.
Slack right now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, on the map, Saberlight definitely feeling like they're the strongest right now. So any moves they can make with this Doom, they've got a high chance of being successful.
Yeah, they even could set up on Mika. That's a good call. He's already 6 on the Doom. Rune. No spawn bottom. Mika's happy. All right, Mikey's... Damn it, I did it again. Mikey's happy. It's a DD. This could make... I mean, he might make the move with this. I think pre-Vessel, it's very unlikely that he makes the move toward the Underlord lane, but once he's got Vessel, he absolutely can then threaten Zai as well.
Anisha, he's going to back up from the lane for now. Knows that there was also Fly hanging around the area.
Great.
The Doom is out.
Saberlight would just turn, slam down the Doom. We'll see Zai teleporting
Zai's
over with the
coming.
portal to try
Can they
and
save
provide
the
some sort of
Slug?
backup, but already Saberlight's just able to chase down this Slug underneath the tower. Boxy
Oh, nice.
providing some heals. Is it enough to allow him to live through
Yeah,
the
he's
Doom?
gonna live. He's gonna
It is.
live.
He's going to be able to live, and now
And
he's
he's gonna
going to
get
get
a kill.
Mickey turns towards Crit. They'll get the kill on the Willow,
Wow.
and Zion and Insania, they're able to come across with the portal and punish Saberlight. They try and go for that
Damn.
Doom play, but Liquid,
Now-
they were
now Mickey
prepared
is 6.
to make sure that it was not going to be a
Is it?
success there
It's
for
almost
Saberlight.
6.
The absolute max tether distance. He was literally playing on the exact edge of it there. The Envenom weapon, honestly, the Envenom weapon almost worked again, reducing the healing while he had the Doom on him, but not quite this time. Early rotation on mid. Tower.
Artizy?
It's
Should
gonna
be,
fall.
should be going down it.
To take the
Arteezy.
tower.
Definitely see this sort of timing of fair
I mean,
future
that
as
can
a
go
Shopify
very
player.
wrong
Get
for
that
Arteezy
early tier 1 in
sometimes.
the mid with a rotation from Artor. I'll try and look for Nisha.
They are
Deep is
punishing
coming
the
in,
Dark
Boxy
Grip
with the
cooldown right
tether.
now.
Tornado, not going to be enough. Verifies there. Nisha's fine.
Nice attempt. Early tower, though. After everything that's happened, right, with the Lesh having that good time, now Mikey's actually ahead of him in that net worth. That's a big deal. And there's the Vitality booster. So soon going to have Vessel to be able to threaten Zai a little bit here. All right. Not bad so far for the lanes for Shopify.
I mean, for Shopify, do they really have any sort of heroes they can put up in this top lane, or do they just have to kind of let Zai take this tower?
It's numbers.
I'll bring Mikey in.
Ooh.
It's going to be off the mark with the Tornado. I mean, even if it hits, it's not an easy kill to get back in the river. Boxy and Nisha, they'll find Crit.
He didn't use the Tome, though, at least. That's a thankful thing for Crit. The Tome is still on him, so he wasn't level 6, so he didn't give more XP to Nisha. This is a tough matchup for the Willow. Playing versus Lash, it's probably one of the worst. Like, he just runs you down with most of his spells and just kill you through any of your Shadow Realm and stuff like that. Liquid looking to make fast moves.
Yeah, they want to try and get into the jungle and catch out Arteezy. See if they can find this lone druid.
They have massive burst damage. They just have massive damage in general in their draft.
They know he's in it.
Oh, and they see stacks too.
Artizy is going
This
back
might
to the
catch him off
lane.
guard.
Yeah, he's
I think
gonna have
at this point
Zai
he
right
wants
by him,
to...
and 3 heroes
no.
closing in from behind.
Artizy is dead.
Hello.
Be able to get the ultimate off, but
Can he
will still
live
not provide him
through
enough
that?
HP to survive through this sort of
no.
gank.
He's dead.
Liquid successful with the smoke move.
Never gonna be an easy game for Arteezy, it feels like. Playing versus this Underlord.
Okay, now they can go to
They're
the
gonna
Dark
quick to
Grip.
try and set up for
then.
something else. There's Mickey getting in aggressively, chasing down Saberlight here with the Shadow Dance. They're gonna get that extra move speed bonus, the telekinesis, and that's the job done. Another core.
And then now they can
Off
go
the
back.
map. Liquid starting to speed things up.
Starting to get the ball rolling, and it's just only gonna continue with Fiendscape, with Relocate. They can threaten everywhere on the map.
I mean, when you
The
look at the
global
two drafts,
teleports.
this overall, even though ended up a little bit different with the heroes this time around and the positions they're being played in from Liquid, you feel we're going to see a similar sort of approach where
Yes.
they're absolutely going to look to go because of how strong their group up is.
Yeah, I mean, it's an IO draft, right? So
Yep.
you're always looking to apply tons of pressure in early game. Same thing with the Lesh. That at least is a very similar function, and then they have Zai playing this amazing hero in this game. Honestly, I could see a position where Zai doesn't really die in this game, and that's rare, like pretty rare to say when Zai sometimes does get sacrificed a bit. Crimson Guard is going to be the choice for him.
Okay. I mean, yeah, kind of out of the auras, getting that one first this time.
Yep.
Did you like that? Because it's going to be a very quick timing, of course, getting it first.
He has the IO who looks like he's going to be going the mech, who pretty much has it done, so I can see it. The only thing that could be a little annoying for the Crimson is it can get dispelled from the Tornado. So that's the one thing. Tornado and Doom, I guess.
He
And
has to
does
use it
switch
after
up.
the
So
Tornado
gotta
or
go
the
for
Doom.
It looks like he's going to go for, what? It looks like maybe a Hood first.
But it's very hard to do that.
Yeah. So he's just going to go Hood Vanguard. I mean, maybe he just disassembles the Vanguard, and then he has the Hood done, and then... I mean, we'll see what he ends up doing. Or as will be the name of the game either way. Vessel done for Mikey. See if he can get himself a charge. He's 0-0-0 so far in these first 12 minutes.
Yeah, and when you look at sort of the state of the heroes on Liquid right now, how easy is it for Mikey to find these opportunities to get kills with the Vessel?
He needs the charge is the issue. That's the first thing, the first step. Not the easiest targets to go for.
I mean, who's your best hero to try and go looking for action with? Is it Saberlight? You know, do you want to kind of see the Doom get involved, or is he best focused on working on his next item?
Honestly, Saberlight and maybe the Willow. Like they just really lack damage early game. That's the biggest thing for Shopify's draft. It takes a very long time for them to actually have damage in their draft. Since the Quaswex Invoker, it's a lone druid. Like Doom, the Scorched Earth is their best damage actually in the game at the moment, besides Willow running in with Bedlam, and that's just in this game, running in with Bedlam is suicide. You're playing versus Firestorm and Leshrac.
Yeah.
Definitely not an easy state for Shopify to be in right now. And looking overall, like as it progresses, honestly, not too easy at that point either. It's gonna take them time, and Liquid, they just have so many easy ways to react to any movements that come out. Relo and Fiend's Gate, it's gonna be up constantly for any rotation. So Shopify, they have to be pretty decisive with how many numbers they bring, because they can just get outnumbered in 2 seconds.
I mean, this is that move you maybe suggested, coming out with the smoke and indeed teaming up with Crit. But as it is, they've actually separated from one another again during this smoke, so it looks like they've sort of given up on the chance of trying to find a kill, find a chance for Mikey to get these Vessel charges.
It actually almost feels like they have to move with 4-0, and I feel like even
to actually get a kill.
Yeah, like Shadow Demon, Willow, and Doom have to move just to get the Vessel charge. The Vessel will unlock opportunity to perhaps get other kills. And the thing for Liquid is they can hunt with single heroes, because these relocate.
Yeah, I mean, look at this as well.
Where he's going?
He'll jump into the portal. He says,
no.
wherever it takes me, it's probably going to be better than this. Unfortunately for him, though,
There's a reload top.
ready and waiting. He's going to go back in the portal, but he won't get the chance to go back in as the telekinesis is there from Insania. He has got the backup of Arteezy at the side, but Nisha will find him. He tries to hide in the trees. He gets caught by the
That was very funny.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Crypt did still get taken out as it's 2 kills here for Liquid.
The game feels so damn hard. Like,
it's difficult.
Mikey's got his work cut out for him. Can he get Insanity at the least? I think he should.
This is going to be a Vessel charge. Get picked up right.
There we go.
He's got a Vessel charge.
He
now
desperately needs it to slow down this momentum.
He's got some of those to play with now for the next move.
Now they can threaten Zai. So with this kill, they put... I mean, he's still super difficult to kill, of course.
We're
but
working on the pipe next as well. Yeah, level 11. He's a big boy, Zai. Not easy to kill him. And on his own, and of course there's extra save as well if Boxy's around.
Oh, this is just such a hard game. It's like it feels like such a greedy draft from Shopify almost again with the way that Liquid set things up. And Liquid, not only are they hunting and setting up kills all over, I think I didn't check how many stacks that they've had so far total, but I want to say it's a lot more. That's actually pretty even.
Let's have a look. Let's do the maths here. So there's 11 stacks from Shopify Rebellion, and it is 15 stacks from Liquid. So it is more.
Honestly, better than I expect. I didn't see that. I saw Fly was getting some stacks as the SD, which you tend to, but I didn't think it was that high. Now Saberlight can't even get the Doom off.
Mickey nicely build up those stacks. Does get caught by the tornado. Saberlight able to stand his ground a little longer, but still end up going down.
Okay.
He's dead.
Towards him, Crit offering up the
damage. The heal. Shit.
He's able to come in, heal Mickey up, and now Mickey can turn and look to take more. Gets Crit out the fight, and Mikey, he's left behind as well. 3 dead on Shopify. Liquid, they're not even done yet. They're ready to chase on.
Fly's also dead. He's got nothing, man.
Trying to juke his way through the trees.
Wait, they got for Arteezy.
Located over there. They're going to even look for Arteezy as well.
Wait,
he's turning. He just gets handed a kill.
All right, well, that was a relocate that Mickey won't be too happy with.
I mean, Boxy literally just gave him up. He displayed him there. He had it. How many stacks did he have? He had like 20 stacks.
He had a lot. He was up like 20 stacks.
I mean, Arteezy will take that.
Give credit to Boxy, knowing how vocal of a player Mickey was. I bet Mickey was calling for that. He was like, let's go, take me in, I'll kill Arteezy. But indeed, Arteezy's like, all right, I get a solo kill on the carry.
I think maybe didn't see that he had the Deso.
Sure.
Because it did overwhelming damage. It definitely caught them off guard. I mean, a small trickle back for Shopify, but Liquid, they're dominating. They're decimating the whole map.
He's gonna laugh a little there. As I reckon a high chance Mickey was calling for that. He felt strong. You know, he wanted to go for more.
I saw the reload coming in and I was like, wait, how do they even... I didn't even know how they saw Arteezy, to be quite honest with you.
Did they sort of catch a glimpse of him kind of escaping through the triangle when they were stepping up to the high ground?
I honestly, I didn't see it.
Either way,
keeping on top of him.
Overall,
Arteezy gets handed it.
Bad news for Shopify Rebellion, but individually, good news for Arteezy. He gets a nice bit of a burst there. They're able to take down the Slark on his own.
Deso stack for him.
They saw him.
Pretty decent timing, all things considered. He can actually get some split push and stuff going.
Zai
It's
is
not easy.
dead.
Here we go. They're going to try for Zai.
Zai.
See if they've got
Zai
the damage
is
to
dead.
do so. He's got Instaner and Mickey
No,
heading over
he's
to
living.
help out.
Oh my god.
Indeed, even with sort of the four of them
Zai
going
is so
onto
fried.
Zai,
He's
they
got
just
the
don't
pipe.
quite have enough to instantly take down the
Oh, he
Underlord.
went
So
5
he's able
first
to
instead of
walk away.
Crimson Guard.
We'll see
That's
Mickey
why.
chased on for more. And he's got the Tornado. Nicely timed after the Dark Pack, so a good amount of time there that Mickey's held back, but it isn't.
He's gonna pop.
Oh,
What the fuck?
he is. All right, he's dead again.
Fly.
Okay.
What a play.
I don't know if Mickey will be smiling about that one.
How?
It's going to feel a bit rough. 2 times back-to-back now. Now Crit with the fear. He's able to push back the 2 of them. Boxy's trying to desperately finish off one of these 2. The portal's laid down. Crit is going to light up. Simon for this. He jumps in the portal. He's out of there. Crit's going to be able to use it to his own benefit. Get away. Mikey's still on the retreat. We'll see if he can chase him out. But the Tornado's back up.
Oh wait, he got him.
Tornado EMP.
I found
Mikey,
Dark
he's going to
Pillow,
be able to live.
but he can't kill him. Oh no.
There's some unbelievable outplays that
What the
Shopify is
fuck?
able to do. This time, Boxy will get a kill, but Saberlight's back in.
He turns up and he'll take Boxy.
Oh, the tether.
Oh,
Oh
he
my
won the
god.
pipe.
what a pipe by Zai.
Zai, it's like, Boxer, you're not going down here today. I'll save you. But yeah, Mickey a couple of times now. Back
I
to
mean, the
back,
Dark
where he's had some
Portal
unfortunate
is
deaths as
so
well.
funny.
I saw the force stack, and I was
Stupid.
like, he's going to back up, right? And then Fly just gets that fist stack
Sorry,
on him,
dude,
clears
dude.
him out. All right. I mean, pretty big plays, I would say, from Shopify. When they are in this position, this is decent catch-up.
It really is. And I love this as well, that a big damage build from Arteezy.
Yes.
Deso into Crit.
Okay. Whoa.
Dadulous.
He's feeling the lack of damage in their draft. And I see also that you see what Crit went for, too. It's pretty standard sometimes on the Willow, but a Veil. Any way to amplify the damage that they're starting to get online to be able to go through this pipe, go through all this heal.
And here we go. They want to smoke up and go again. It's Shopify Rebellion.
Okay.
They've seen their sort of opportunities. They're starting to be able to get these kills in the fight, and they're starting to shut down that lead that Liquid's built up. And this time around, this game, they've got the tools to really capitalize on this.
They have the ways to actually take fights rather than just split push constantly. Okay. Stolen Brambles. Coming into play. Another one.
Fly, defensive disruption. Mickey is going to jump in, but the BKB's there for Saberlight, so he can walk away from this.
They do force the BKB.
And Nisha still wants to try and run in from the side.
Nisha.
Rip, he's holding back the Terrorize for now, and he's going to lay it down onto the Aya. Pushing back, the Doom gets dropped straight onto Nisha. Arteezy trying to frontline. Mickey will turn for a couple of minutes back towards the Lone Druid. They're caught in the pit here of the Underlord, and Zai will be able to take down the bear.
They're in.
So if they can go for more here,
Oh,
and
shit,
indeed with
both the
Nisha
supports
pumping out
at
the
the same
damage
time.
before the Doom was even laid down onto him. He's
Arteezy's
just doing
base
too
not
much
getting
here
the
for
time to
Shopify
win,
Rebellion
man.
to fight
Yeah,
into
controlling the
Arteezy,
pair.
desperately trying to retreat, but Zai, he's in with the pit, locks down Arteezy, double kill for Instania. Mickey ready to dive up towards the base now. They're under the tier 3s. He's looking
got
towards
Doom.
Saberlight, in with the Dark Pact he goes.
Okay, no,
Liquid
he used it on
5-4.
Nisha, sorry.
Shopify were the ones who kind of picked that fight a little bit there, too. They get the connection on the fear for Boxy, but the tether never broke. He actually just stayed tethered with Nisha, and then they just overwhelmed them.
Yeah, I mean, between sort of like the Fiend's Gate and the Relocate, Liquid have so many opportunities to just keep chasing.
And so much damage mitigation. Fade Bolt, Atrophy Aura, Pipe, Mech, everyone just getting healed up.
Yeah, and of course, Lesh IO, if they don't kill that Lesh at the start, don't kill him during the Doom, Nisha's just going to be chasing them down.
This looks like a 2-0.
There's another aura that they have to go through. Crimson Guard is finished.
They are
this
lacking
side, too.
damage.
You can see
The
Arteezy,
Crosslegs
he is feeling the
invoker.
pressure. He went all in on damage.
Plus
too,
the
and
supports
he
don't have
he
any damage.
really
They are
does
mostly
it
like
hit hard,
defensive and
even
control.
versus all these heroes of Liquid.
And 19-6 and back up to a 6K lead now for Liquid.
They're playing their draft beautifully. They're just never stopping. They'd have almost no downtime, it feels like. And for Shopify, it feels like they do have downtime, even though they don't really have too many long cooldown heroes. They just can't fight into this overwhelming pressure.
And I just overall as well, right? You look at Liquid's heroes and their items.
Oh, the
they've got a lot of
relocate is
sustain,
coming.
They've got a lot of ways of keeping one another alive.
Yep.
At the moment, Shopify Rebellion
I mean,
with their draft
someone
and
is
with
with
their
the
item
dust.
builds,
Zai's got the
there's
dust,
no,
but
there's
it's
no
not
auras, right?
realized.
There's nothing. They just don't
That
have the
invoker is
means
very
to
fast.
take out, to actually kind of survive through these drawn-out fights, which Liquid, with a Lesh, with a Slark, they excel at these.
Yep.
If you don't win the fight in the first, 5 seconds, if you don't get at least 1 kill, ideally 2 kills with Shopify Rebellion, you'll just lose the team fight time and time
100%.
again.
Yeah, I mean, this time, we saw Saberlight last game. He actually went for the Greaves build, even though they were playing like this split push kind of action. This game, he actually went for the Blink build when they are going for the constant team fights and stuff like that. So interesting to see the different builds that he's gone for. And Liquid, they're smashing it again. they woke up today good. Like, they woke up and they feel very, very good about the way they're able to just pressure, and it's non-stop. Top, another Fiend's Gate.
Yeah, they're looking for Mikey. See if they can catch him, Zai.
Oh no, he's dead.
Got him with the root. Mikey pushing them back with a deafening
There's
blast.
no way he gets out.
I should have him here.
They are even going out.
Leaving no chance for Mikey to escape.
And back through the Fiend's Gate they go. Crit. Will he be able to get away? He will not.
Insania with the finisher there.
And he gets a huge steal. He gets probably one of the best ones he can in the game besides Doom. He gets a terrorized steal. All the spells I mean, pretty much everything you get from Willow are amazing on a Rubik. And speaking of Insania, you know, I actually didn't even notice. He's 7-1-9.
7-1-9.
For quite a long time, one of the better Rubik players, even playing from the 5 position. I didn't even notice that he was having such a ball in game.
I mean, yeah, something about Liquid and their Rubik picks, right? Whether it's Boxy or Insania, high chance that they're going to have a lot of money.
Yeah. They have literally all the auras you can possibly get at this point now. Boots the Bearing will be next for Boxy, but he has Drum, Mech, Crimson Pipe on Zai.
I mean, it's
everything.
It's so hard for Shopify to take a fight, as I say, with their draft and approach. They just don't have anything to keep one another alive.
Look at Arteezy's build.
They just die so quickly.
Did you see the bear? 2 crits. That's the pressure he's feeling.
Yeah. This is even better than the Midas build. The double crit.
It's desperation for damage.
1 for each claw. Actually needs 4 for that. Anyway, back in action. Saberlight. He's going to come in with the BKB. See if they can take down.
Wait, the crits are doing
everything onto Nisha.
Nisha is taking a lot of damage, but heals. Oh no.
Got him
once. Enough. That's him once.
The Alacrity
They
Bear.
can do it a second time round. They've lost crit in their sort of approach to take out the Aegis. And they won't be able to get Nisha a second time. In fact, Nisha will get brought over towards the middle. They get the setup for the stun on towards Fly.
They're in.
They do have buybacks available to do supports the Shopify Rebellion. We'll see if they feel the necessity to use it. I think they'll just sort of call for Shopify Rebellion to hold back and not commit into this fight. It's 3 versus 5. Shopify Rebellion have to be careful.
2 bells.
Arteezy felt the pressure to just because he's. I'm not gonna get to Daedalus. Like, I need to fight because Liquid's just got to end the game. They're looking to close this out. They're just keeping pressure going.
Definitely a bit of an awkward build-up for him this game, but I think just a sign that they kind of know themselves. What do you do? This game very much feeling like it's very close to getting closed up here by Liquid.
The Underlord pick is honestly just incredible. It's literally the best pick they could have gotten. And now he has okay, so there was 1 aura missing. Apologies. He's got a Vlad's now. It's coming on the curve.
Yeah, look at all those buffs on top of the bars here. Circle after circle after circle.
No one does any damage. Another Glyph Forest. No Doom available, no BKB. They can't fight. BKB soon up for Saberlight. Zai does get stacked up, but he's got a pipe.
Wait, Zai?
I can find. Jumping in onto Zai with the tether there from Boxy. Saberlight with the BKB trying to run them down, but they're just getting healed up.
And the Bear's disarmed, and the Bear's getting focused.
Liquid don't care about this move at all from Shopify. They're perfectly fine.
He's got EMP
They just
now.
know that the damage isn't there. Shopify, they cannot threaten any of Liquid's heroes.
No Doom. 30 seconds still. They can't touch him. Insania with the stolen EMP, throwing it back at them. And Liquid just, I mean, they're looking to close it, looking to get them out of the game.
And what does Shopify do?
Doom in 20, but there's still not enough damage.
They're going to try. They're in with the jump. They're going to terrorize follow-up as well.
Oh, they are fast, man. Damn.
No, again.
Nope.
The answer's no.
Such a hard game. Another EMP. He's going to catch on Arteezy. He's out of mana.
He is, and Mickey, he's onto the bear. The bear's been taken out, jumps forward.
Disruption.
He's going to buy some time for Arteezy, but he's already solo. He's gone.
No buyback.
No buyback available on him.
This game is over.
There's nothing they can do.
They'll even get the grab on Saberlight and D. They'll tap out. They've had enough. Shopify Rebellion. They'll drop this game. They'll drop this series. Team Liquid on fire today. All smiles here from Nisha. And yeah, as you said, it just woke up and was ready to play today. This was the early series of the day for Liquid, as we've heard from. They're normally, you know, they're late risers. They get up kind of in the early afternoon, typically. But waking up for this game today and playing to their best ability, without a doubt. Both of these games looking pretty impossible for Shopify Rebellion pretty early on in both of them.
Yeah,
there was just no chance of a turnaround. No, in both.
Agreed. This one was way more one-sided, even though
really
this one wasn't the triple Midas one, right?
No, there was 2.
They couldn't find any rotations. I feel like they significantly lacked damage with the way that they had to set stuff up. But it's not even like they can itemize in order to really fix that. Arteezy tried. Like, he goes Deso, double mini crit.
Crystallis.
And they still just can't.
No, the piece.
There's no damage from the support. Their draft was very lacking with the damage from the
great series
support.
they had yesterday against Gaming Gladiators. Liquid, yeah, they knew they had the correct approach.
Yep.
There was no stopping them. There was no solution to what Liquid was able to do here. Played fantastically. A couple of comical deaths from Mickey, but he was able to have a good smile about those, as in the end, it did not matter. His Slark, still too much with the backup, the buffs that Liquid could provide him. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Liquid, they'll be taking this series against Shopify Rebellion 2-0.
Which is the next game?
A 2-0! Wow, what a surprise. We definitely did not see that one coming after we saw the draft. We kind of did, guys. Team Liquid had a great draft here in this second game, and it was up to Shopify to try to find an answer for this Team Liquid.
Okay, next game is in like 1 hour 45 minutes.
It was constant. Now we did have a
It's
couple
CG
of
versus
fights
Beast Coast.
where Shopify looked a little better. That was actually game 1. I was very confused there for a second, but luckily, it doesn't matter if I'm confused as long as my panelists know what was going on. Purge, Effie, Jenkins. Purge, what was going on?
I would love to talk about this team fight, actually.
Yes,
they
go for
basically
it.
kited them, and watch the lone druid bear and what he has to do after he resummons. He's going after the IO, and he just can't catch up to the guy. So he's like just not doing any damage. In the meantime, Nisha's just damaging people by standing here. Look at it, he can't even catch up.
He got like one hit off.
Yeah.
So it was like, the story in some ways is like Invoker and Willow needed to do so much in this game in terms of like team fight contribution, because Doom does some things, Shadow Demon does some things, Lone Druid does some things, but it's like if they're not hitting people, they're not getting their own natural roots. So it's like the Willow needed to like root everybody for like way too much in this fight to have good impacts, and it just made it hard for them to DPS fully.
And that's why it took so long for the Willow pick to come out. I'm sure Volvo was very adamant against it, and Crit had to convince them for it. It took like, what, 40 seconds after the Shadow Demon came out or something?
Write me a dissertation on why Willow's the pick here. Crit.
It's just, it doesn't do enough, honestly. And even though it looked really good in Tundra's hands yesterday, that game was also very difficult up until it wasn't, and up until they started outplaying
Get some
team fights.
water.
But this game was a losing battle from the start. The last pick, Underlord, there was nothing for it, nothing that could threaten it. It was great on lane. They won the top lane, Nisha won mid lane. The only lane that went well for Shopify was the bot lane, but because of a beautiful outplay by Boxy and Mike, when they walked up to the Doom when Slark was level 5 and Doom was level 6, they baited the Doom because they thought that they could kite it out all the way to the tower and live on the tower region. It was a very ballsy play, but it worked out. And they got both kills because of a TP in from Zai. So even on the lane that they lost, they brought it back just through outplaying. So, you know, kudos to Liquid. That was really good.
I just really think about how different it would have been if Doom didn't go Midas first. Like, he had such a good early game. He got the Midas, which made sense in that he's like up 2 kills. But if he just bought like phase boots or something, like he kills Slark with that first Doom, Crit doesn't die, Slark doesn't catch up in levels and gold, doesn't get 6 at as good of a time. It actually could have changed the outcome of the early game, because then after that, the Doom just didn't feel as effective. Again, it was counterpicked against the IO strat, so like it's so hard. That's just one of those moments where it's like the most obvious, like, I shouldn't have been greedy with my items moments in a game.
Was it Skeeter we were interviewing where he said like Liquid will beat them in lanes, Liquid will beat them in mid game?
Yep.
I can understand why teams feel that way against Liquid, because like, yeah, their laning is really strong for sure. I don't feel like that was a crazy huge impact in this game, not like more than the other parts of the game, because mid game, the like Underlord relocates and the IO relocates, and just the speed at which they would go on somebody on like the bottom side of the map and then also simultaneously be setting up on somebody on the top side of the map, it feels very fast. I hate to use that term because I know it's like a loaded term at this point in Dota, but it really feels like their instincts for what they can actually pull off seem to be like just on the mark as a whole team. Obviously, there was that one where they relocated Mickey in and then he died to Arteezy, but it's like that's the consequence of constantly pushing the boundaries. And if a worse team were pushing the boundaries like that, we would see like 3 or 4 of those Mickey level deaths where they're playing too fast that they're not actually comfortable with it, and then they lose.
Yep.
Right? So it's like with Liquid, we see a single one of those in like maybe, I don't know, a few games.
Yeah, we saw 2 deaths in a row for Mickey, and it was like this could potentially be a turnaround, but it was not enough. Like,
It's
they
like-
needed to have, like, several of those moments.
Right, and it's like, but the thing is, like, what they get out of that risk is, like, if Mickey gets that kill from that overextension, they've just achieved, like, a team wipe in the game, and the game is over.
And plus definite agi, permanent agi on the Slark.
And they're constantly going for these sort of, like, we're going to get something here, but then also something over here, and then while that's going on, we're going for something over here. And it's kind of like, it's hard for the observers to keep track of all the things that are going on in a Liquid game.
But that's just confidence too, right? That's how you become a better team. It's when you're making plays that you don't necessarily know will work out, but you try them anyway, so you learn more about the game. And that's the difference between Liquid and a lot of other teams who kind of adopt the more Tundra-ish play style where going for the higher risk plays doesn't necessarily fit what they want to do.
Indeed. And we get to talk to none other than Zai as the victor here. Congratulations on a flawless series, Zai.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, I have a question, and I have talked about this. We've talked about this in Lima Major, not you and me, but Blitz at some point said it, and it was talked about on the panel, but we didn't really get the full gist of it. So I would love to hear your side of it, because you're a very intricate part of this as well, because it's about the draft and the drafting pattern that you and Blitz have. And I will tell you what he told me, and I would like if you can fill it in a little bit to try to take away our question marks regarding it, because he said, me and Blitz have this synergy where, or me as I have this synergy, where Blitz does the first phase bans, and you do the first phase picks, and you draft for a specific player, and he drafts for a specific player. Can you tell us more about that?
I mean, yeah, we discuss openers together. That's usually the first step of preparing for a team. You know, we look at what they've done before, we look at potential openers and what we think they're gonna do. Like, for example, today we knew they're gonna first pick Doom and probably invoke Ornate if we go with Splash. So that was kind of, you know, in our plans already. And then, yeah, I think he focuses a lot on bans, making sure that we kind of tick all the boxes, that we don't miss any you know, glaring heroes that we shouldn't play against, and that we also protect our own heroes. So yeah, it's a good synergy. It's working pretty well, and I think we're getting better at it as well. So it's working well.
How do you practice that synergy? Because it's, from my perspective, it's something that I think you're the only team that does it with that type of, I don't know, you know, two minds really working together in tandem like that. How do you practice that? Because that seems very difficult to, you know, comes to terms with, and two cooks in the kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think for most of the teams I've been a part of, the drafting process is usually like a shared kind of thing. I think you always try to form some understanding and things to build towards, and a lot of the ideas and stuff that you have is something that you've kind of developed over time as a team. So maybe the way we work is special to us, but I'm sure people have similar relationships with coaches and similar players as well for drafting in general.
And just to clarify, you've been doing that together with Blitz since after TI, right? Because before TI, it was Matu that had a big say in the draft?
Yeah, correct. So after TI and after Matu departed, I've been doing it ever since, yeah.
Do you like it?
It's pretty fun. I mean, it's nice clicking buttons, and I think for now it's working well. So of course, when it's working, it feels good. It is like an added element of responsibility. So you always have to. I mean, you can't be lazy, because then I think things will just fall apart. And I like being lazy, so I'm kind of missing out on that part. But no, I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Good to hear. I'm here with Purge, Effie, and Jenkins. They'd also like to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, one question. You got to last pick both of the last two games. Do you get to feel like you get the perfect hero in those game setups? Obviously, I'm sure you wouldn't plan the draft around making your game better, of course. But do you prefer last picking your hero for obvious reasons?
I tend to be the opposite, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of last picking my hero, because I don't like playing with that pressure, I guess. I think there's different types of offlaners. A lot of them are last pick players. And like, some people are better at it than others. I think I've never really considered myself as a 24 Viper kind of player, so it's not really my forte. But sometimes when the draft kind of goes in this direction, it's hard not to, and then you kind of just have to do it anyway. But I mean, DK and Underlord are not super abusive heroes, so it's fine.
Okay, and one other question. There's been a lot of sharing of Underlord ultis going in all these games. It seems like if one pops in front of you, the obvious play is to instantly right-click it. Do you think that should be changed in any way, or like what's the mentality like when you have to react to that? Because it just seems like the teamfight gets so weird. The supports go somewhere else.
I think it's hilarious. I think this mechanic is like one of the most fun ones in Dota right now. So I would keep it because it's like you don't really know what's happening and it's too chaotic. Like all of a sudden he goes into the portal. Like for example, we ganked this Doom on bottom and Doom just goes in the portal. But all of a sudden we have 3 heroes top as well, and we're killing the Doom on bottom. So it's just like chaotic, but it's a lot of fun. And I think this spell is like, I mean, compared to his old ulti, which was just the AoE teleport, that was like probably the most boring spell in Dota history. So I think this one is pretty fun.
Cool.
Hey Zai, congrats on the win. So basically last year it felt like you guys kind of had difficulties finding your place in a new patch or getting an understanding of a patch that was good enough initially, because it felt like every time it came out, you guys had a lackluster performance up until TI. So I was wondering if you feel like your team is also in that current state for the patch that's about to drop before Berlin, or if you feel like you guys are going to perform better at the start of a new patch.
I mean, I think it'll be interesting because what's been like the rumors that have been floating around is that this patch is like, you know, massive and it's going to be a big change. So I think it's really hard to predict what it's going to be like. I think we're all going to, you know, play as much Dota as we possibly can, and, you know, we're going to try our hardest to adapt. But I think we've been, you know, for the current patch, we've been playing this one essentially since TI, and we played like a ton of games on this patch. So I think we're all very, very comfortable with the game as it is now, and I think we're very comfortable playing with each other. So hopefully that part of just, you know, kind of playing together as a team will carry on to the new patch, and then we just have to, you know, discover what's good and what's new in the newer patch, and kind of adapt.
So why do you think that it is that it took you guys a bit longer last year to find your footing in this current patch?
I mean, just shut up, man.
I think we were probably struggling for quite some time with figuring out like a certain style. I think last year, stylistically, there were very strong teams. Like OG, for example, last year, when they were dominating, I think they had a very specific style. I think similarly to gaming and spirits and all these teams, they had very distinct ways of playing. And I think we kind of tried a multitude of different ones, coming from different teams, obviously meshing like the old Secret Guard and the Team Liquid trio. I think we kind of struggled with finding common ground.
Jenkins is not gonna say anything.
I think eventually we found it, and I think since we found it, it's been smooth sailing. But I think it took us some time to kind of gel as a squad.
Oh, that's a great answer. So my last question is basically, are you satisfied with the state of drafting right now, first pick and second pick, or would you like to see that changed in the new patch?
I think since the patch has gone off for this long, I think second pick is probably a bit too strong. Because usually on first pick, I think first pick is an advantage because you get like the most broken hero, and you kind of form your lineup around that. But then I think now the patch has been so drawn out so that there's too many heroes. So you're essentially not getting a lot out of the first pick value, I think. And instead second pick gets countered twice in the second phase. So I think second pick is a little bit too strong. I think they should probably switch up the order a little bit. Kind of just for fun, but also because I think second pick is a bit too strong. But I think switching it up a little bit would be nice. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Big Z. What, in your opinion, would you say is the most underrated fictional character?
Underrated fictional character. Jesus.
You can go.
Okay, do you have an answer for me? What's an underrated fictional character? Fictional character. I don't know. My teammates are the weebs. I'm not quite sure my grasp on fictional characters is a bit so.
What about overrated fictional character then, if you're not a weeb?
Overrated. Let's just say Sasuke. I don't like that guy.
Okay. Effie?
That guy sucks. Yeah, Sasuke's a little bitch.
All right.
Sounds good.
I got one more Dota-related question before we let you go, Zai. You just said that you think second pick is a little bit better right now. Then why aren't you choosing it?
They had it, didn't they?
Yeah, but yesterday they went to series and they had priority and they did it before. They go for Dire instead of second pick.
Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's a bit weird to pick. For example, this game or this series was nice because we didn't have choice the first one, and they chose first pick, and then it's kind of nice because I feel like choosing the first game is you have to be really sure of your plan, sort of, and it's a bit of a gamble. And in some of those scenarios where like, you make plans for both first pick and second pick, but you don't feel strongly about either one, then we usually go for Dire. It's like we have plans for both sides, but we don't really feel like second pick opener is better or first pick opener is better, and then we usually just go Dire. But then in the group stage and stuff like that, we play so many matches, so we also try to make sure that we get like equal games in on first pick and second pick, and also to some extent Dire and Radiant. So we kind of just been using it as a way to get practice in on all angles. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that answer. And I lied, I have one actual more question. This is a very different format from, like, you've played a lot of tournaments over your career. This is a very different format than most of the tournaments you've played. I believe this is the first one that does it like this. What do you think of it with like the two group stages into a small playoff bracket?
I mean, I like playing Dota, and I like playing matches, and now we have matches pretty much every day. I think the only complaint I have about the format is that currently the early match is it comes with a little bit of a early morning debuff for a lot of teams, including ours. So that's a bit so-so. But now we're done with all our early morning games, so it's all good. But I like playing Dota, and having a lot of matches is fun. We're also just watching Dota all the time. So you play your game and then you watch all the other games. And it's just fun, having a good time, so I like it.
All right, glad to hear it. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk
That's
to
a
us.
very good
Appreciate
feedback.
it. Of course, good luck in your matches tomorrow and the days after, and I'm sure we'll talk again.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay guys, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. So thanks for watching. Bye.